We'll be back, ladies and gentlemen.
He is out there causing problems for the National Hockey League by whining to refs and then being one of the dirtiest players in hockey. But he is still a good Hall of Fame caliber player. So when he retires, I am fully convinced that Pittsburghians will literally stop showing, or as they call themselves, Yinzers, will stop showing up to their games, and they will once again have relocation rumors to Kansas City or some other mud hole in the United States, and then they'll literally have to pull some magic out of their ass to get another Hall of Fame caliber player, and then they will only show up because the team is good. They are the worst fandom in sports. In fact, I would honestly say Pittsburgh in general, worst fandom, with the exception of the Pirates fans, in all of the major sports. Worse in football, even worse than the Dallas Cowboys, let me tell you that. And easily the worst in hockey, because they are uneducated dimwits who have never done a single thing of hockey history. They'll tell you, oh, well, we had like all of these other hockey teams in city. Yeah, why have you had so many other hockey teams in your city? Could it possibly be that your team, that you stop showing up for teams when they're not good? They're like, oh, we've had like 900 other hockey teams in our team's history. Like, yeah. And you know what? Every single one of them folded. It's only a matter of time before you guys lose interest in the Penguins and you stop showing up for them too. That is what you guys are. Trash. Just like Berto. Berto's a Pittsburgh Penguins fan. I know I said she was an Islander fan before. No, she's a Penguins fan. Diseased warts stick together, you know. Diseased, festering warts. They all stick together. And it's a shame, because, like, they have, like, the capacity to be really smart, good fans, and they just don't care. They're there literally just to witness a Hall of Fame caliber player, and that's it. And if they don't care about the history of the sport, why should we care about their mudhole of a city? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know. Alright. What's up next? Is it the ninja one, or is that the last one? It is the ninja one. It is the last one. Cool. The last one of this cup, at least. Then we got to go to the fun cup. The pinball. The New York Cup. Now, before you guys get your knickers in a bunch, if I have any Pittsburgh fans out there who are going to try to reap me across the coals, that doesn't mean that you are the shit at everything. Like I said, Pirates fans are genuinely some of the most passionate and loyal fans in baseball, even though they deal with one of the biggest penny-pinching owners in the game. But there are other fandoms in other sports that are just as bad in some regards. I mean, just look at the Yankees. Literally, this fandom had a very bad year last year. I will give them that. Judge missed significant time. Garrett Cole pitched really well, but they had issues all over their roster, and they didn't make the playoffs. But they didn't lose enough to be considered bad. They were mediocre. So they go out and get Juan Soto. And if you don't know who Juan Soto is, he's basically the on-base machine. He finds ways to get on base no matter what. If it's drawing a walk, fine. If it's getting a hit, fine. Hitting a home run, fine. He will do whatever it takes to get on base. That's just his game. And since getting a player like that, this team has thrived. And I fall into the water. And I go forward for no reason other than Lakitu wants to be a dick. But since Juan Soto has come to this club, there's been like a change in chemistry. They don't have Garrett Cole because he's missing significant time due to injury. Aaron Judge got off to a very slow start. But from the word go, Juan Soto has been good. From the word freaking go, he has been good. And the Yankees themselves have been good. One of the best teams in baseball, in fact. Were it not for Cleveland and Baltimore, they'd probably be considered the best team in in the American League. And please, 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 please. Oh, come on! Why is it every freaking time I get hit, it's over a freaking ledge? Birdo, you disgusting animal. Whatever. But anyway, they've had literally everything break right for them. And they're still finding things to complain about on radio. And like they're like, oh, like I remember one game they beat a team by like 10 runs, and they're like, well, Aaron Judge went 4 for 4, and he should have went like 6 for 6. Or it was like, I think it was Juan Soto. They're like, oh, Juan Soto should be hitting for home runs. I'm not looking for a walk in that situation. It's like he does what he can do to win in that situation. He can't hit a home run every at bat. Are you guys that uneducated that you demand home runs in every single situation? Then again, you realize they're Yankee fans. They're literally the biggest spoiled brats in the history of fandoms. They forget that their 1990s team was based literally on speed and good pitching and defense. They didn't have a big bopper in their lineup. I think their best hitter that year was, Tino Martinez and Bernie Williams. Beyond that, you had a bunch of role player guys playing. It was before Posada was their catcher. Derek Jeter was a rookie. Their teams were built on speed, defense, chemistry, and good pitching. When the Yankees started to try to go after big boppers is when their team started to not do well in the World Series. They went after guys like A-Rod, like Giambi, like Matsui. Rather than get guys that would fit into that mold that they were building, they went out and tried to go get superstars. And that's why they floundered. They won in 2009 simply because they bought literally all of the best players on the free agent market. Except K-Rod, but we'll talk about that nightmare whenever we talk about the Mets fans being terrible. But they're not terrible. They've been abused for 50 years. But no, they went out and got the best players on the market that year. The 2 best free agent pitchers and the best free agent position player. But since then, Yankee fans have been enamored with home runs, and they insist on seeing home runs from... How did... Stupid game is stupid. Janky game is janky, whatever. Fuck off, Junior. But no, like, literally, the Yankee fans could be undefeated right now and they'd still find something to complain about. I can't say I know more about other fandoms than, like, say, basketball. But I would imagine Lakers fans are, like, the identical, where it's like, hey, we have LeBron. We should be, like, better than this. It's like, have you seen, LeBron wears out his welcome wherever he goes. Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland again, Los Angeles, that's what he is. But you look at another example. Let's look at an example of football. Of fandoms that really should not open their mouths about anything. The Dallas Cowboys. A frickin' franchise that hasn't done anything since Bill Clinton was in the White House. That decided randomly one day, oh, we're going to think we're the hottest shit. Every year is We Dem Boys. And every single year, every single solitary year, they punch their fans in the dick. To take a term from urinating tree. Ironically, a Yinzer. Just look at last year. They had one of the best teams in football. Second overall seed. Were projected by many to go up against the 49ers in the second round. And the Green Bay Packers, a team that by all sound and logic should not have been there, punched them in the mouth. They were the first 2 seed in the history of the NFL to lose to a 7 seed. It remains to this day the funniest thing that is... It remains to this day one of the funniest aspects of me being a Packers fan in my entire life. It wasn't just a game that the Packers got lucky on. They dominated Dallas in that playoff game. Then got popped by the 49ers, but that always happens. No matter what happens, the Packers always must lose to the 49ers. If the 49ers are not in the playoffs, then they will lose to whichever team is destined by the NFL to go to the Super Bowl that year. Okay, and of course, I can't get my green shell out in time, but whatever. So I mentioned the Yankees for that. I mentioned the teams in... I mentioned the... What's it call it? I mentioned the Cowboys for football. Lakers for basketball. My example for hockey of a team that I haven't already mentioned? I think of one. Honestly, the team I would pick... Why am I getting hit with 800 blue shells? And why do I keep getting freaking... Why? Why? That's freaking 3 blue shells! Oh my god. What? Come on! Am I just getting a hit with everything? By freaking everything and every freaking buddy? Jesus Christ! That was awful! I need like a minute from that. Jesus. I almost punched a hole through my TV with that. But then again, it's an SNES course, and that's why SNES Mario Kart sucks. Spit out my gum. Because yes, I was chewing gum to try to satiate myself from eating more. Been an issue for me. Why I'm starting to gain weight again, and I'm going to have to go back on the diet soon. Not fun, but hey. If that is what I have to do every 6 months, go on that diet and torment myself, fine. But anyway, as I was saying before, if I had to pick another hockey fandom, honestly, there are a bunch of fandoms that, like, get way too much, like, love from, like, the league and stuff. Like I said, Vegas is an example of it, where it's like, oh, we're the most passionate fandom in hockey. Like, you've never experienced downtimes. So how can we know what you'd act like in downtimes? And if I had to give up another example of a team that I haven't really talked that much about, I'd go with the Philadelphia Flyers. Yeah, I know I'm picking on Pennsylvania teams, but the reason Philadelphia Flyers get a bad rep is all it needs to be said is there's a single video on, I think it's actually a YouTube video of how Flyer fans act in situations. Like if there's a moment of silence that's taken for some sort of tragedy or a sad moment, they will take the opportunity to be a bunch of drunken hillbillies and like scream something stupid or obscene. They're the first ones to throw things at people. Just Philadelphia in general. Just like, and that's in all sports really for Philly. They're known for throwing batteries at players, for... Oh my god! Why? Every single time I hit one of the... Ugh. I'm not losing to Birdo again. I am not losing to Birdo again. I am not losing to Birdo again. Piss off, Birdo. No, 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 not in front of the finish line again! Why? Why? Who is the bastard that keeps throwing blue shells at me? Jesus! Ugh. You better not ruin Waluigi Pinball for me. I swear to God, we will have problems. This is my favorite course in all of Mario Kartdom. You are not ruining this for me, Birdo. It wasn't even your fault with the blue shell. But whoever did that, your mom's a hoe. That's all I gotta say to that. Honestly, when it comes to hockey, it's any fandom that has never genuinely been tested. And I mean like a long drought of bad hockey or something like that, where you're actually tested to see if your fandom knows what they're going through. Look at all the teams in Canada as an example. Canadian teams have not won the Stanley Cup since the Canadians did it in '93. They've had some Stanley Cup teams, but they haven't been in the... I thought that was going to hit me there. I almost lost my shit. I genuinely... there have been a bunch of friggin' teams that have been in the Stanley Cup Finals, but none that have really won. Yeah, the Canucks a couple of times. I think Calgary's been in the finals 1 or 2 times since then. I know Montreal was in the finals not that long ago. I think it was in the pandemic-shortened season. And it's looking this year like there's a very good chance that it could be, what's it called? Edmonton in the Stanley Cup Finals this year, which would be good because I'd love, even if it's at the expense of the Rangers. What the? Are you kidding me? Boo takes my freaking item, and it doesn't register that I'm. Oh my god! This game is a dirty, dirty bitch. Even on my favorite course, it's going to be a dirty bitch. Fine. I see how it is. Like, even if it was at the expense of my Rangers, I'd prefer the Rangers to win, obviously, but if they had to lose to anybody, I would very much prefer them to lose to Edmonton, because I would love to see a Canadian team win the Stanley Cup, because they haven't done it in a long time. But again, I'd prefer the Rangers to do it. But, like, if it's Rangers-Dallas Stanley Cup, I would be very depressed if Dallas wins, because the Dallas fandom is another one that's just terrible in general. And would you get out of here, June? Oh my! Why did you? Why are you drifting me into walls? I'm not asking for a million freaking good things. I'm asking for consistency. And consistency means a blue shell should be coming in 3, 2. Not giving you the chance. God. And my blood boiling there. Jesus.